The latest development of Derby County's chase for Lewis Travis has been reported by Football League World, with Wrexham AFC pulling themselves out of any potential deal over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours. Now, obviously, Derby County are yet to make any transfers in this window so far, and there is some fans, not only in my comment section, but across the course of social media, who are getting a little bit on edge with obviously knowing that Derby County need a lot of work to do across the course of this window in order to make themselves a better championship outfit. Now, Lewis Travis is absolutely a player that would do that, a player who John Eustace knows well, and obviously with this new development of Wrexham pulling out, it opens up that door for Derby County to go and seal a wonderful signing of a 27-year-old midfielder who is also being a captain and has those leadership qualities. Now, obviously, as we sort of take a look into this signing, make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you have not done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell. Let's take a look into the Derby County raffle, and then let's get into Derby Travis. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Now, obviously, Derby County, as mentioned, have not made any deals so far, although it is being sort of spoken about that deals for Andreas Weimann and Danny Bath are all set, all but completed in the transfer window, obviously with those being free transfers. It's time that Derby County really start to make a move. Now, obviously, over the course of the last realistically month or so, we've had a lot of transfer talks to discuss on this channel, and you'll see every single one of them on this channel as well. And I'm not saying that any of them are going to happen or that all of them are legitimate, because it certainly is a position where in this sort of circumstance a lot can change and a lot can happen. Derby County a couple of weeks ago were reported to be in for Dion Sanderson, about £1 million fee on that one, but obviously no more developments on that. We have a latest development on Lewis Travis potentially coming to Derby County, but it's a real difficult one to sort of see where the club are going. Obviously, we need to see those first few signings in order to sort of get an idea of where John Eustace is trying to put this team in regards to that of obviously formations, setups, and the type of philosophy that Derby County are looking for. Because right now there's a lot of questions about, are we going to be playing a 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1? Are we going to play 3 at the back? Sort of these sort of discussions which are currently ongoing. Now, obviously, with the targeted move for Lewis Travis, we know based on the previous reports that the expected fee for this deal would be around £2 million to Blackburn Rovers, which in my opinion is quite a good deal for a 27-year-old midfielder who's proven himself time and time again in the Championship. Obviously, last year was made captain by John Eustace when he was at Blackburn Rovers, and that's something which I think is very important heading into this season. I felt like last year, I'm not saying Derby County didn't have leaders, but when you look through the squad, especially early on in the season, who was that leader? Who was that captain in the dressing room? I know Nathaniel Mendez-Lang had the armband, but we didn't have that leadership mentality within the building, in my opinion. And that's obviously something that can be discussed by you lot down in the comments if that's something that you want to talk about. But it's one for me where I think bringing in someone who John Eustace knows fits that narrative and fits that meta, and then you've got someone like Matt Clark within the building now as well. Obviously, we gave the captain's armband to Ibu Adams during that final, 10-11 games I think he had the armband for, which is obviously important. And obviously, when we look at this deal for Travis, when it comes to Wrexham pulling out, realistically, it's one of those where they've obviously got a lot of decisions to make when it comes to their sort of midfield and their sort of squad in general at Wrexham, because they've got a big squad and they already spend a decent chunk of change, and that's something which obviously will need to be dealt with at Wrexham. And bringing in a player of Travis's calibre is obviously going to give them a great opportunity, and it was obviously going to give Travis a pay rise. But it's one of those where you sort of need to sort of see how he's going to fit into that midfield, how he's going to fit into their team. And as we found out last year, that even as a promoted club, you don't necessarily get the opportunity to pick up those top quality players, because there's always that question mark over, are you going to go straight back down? Now, I ultimately believe that a lot of Derby County's problems last season were related to that of Paul Warne, but obviously we can have that discussion as well down in the comments. Now, I believe John Eustace could get this deal over the line. If Derby County have the funding, if Derby County have the money in order to invest in a player like Lewis Travis, I certainly think that an opportunity will be there. And when it comes to the deal of Lewis Travis, something that we have to acknowledge is the fact that he's out of contract next summer. Now, I'm not saying that Derby County should wait a year to pick him up, but I think it's one of those where if we aren't able to get a deal done for the right amount of money now, then I think the January window will obviously be more cheap. It'll be a lot cheaper, and that's obviously something which would then probably bring Wrexham back in, depending on their position. You also then look at other clubs who may be taking a look at it, and you can obviously have potential relegated clubs getting in the ear of someone like Lewis Travis. As we know, he played for Ipswich Town during the second half of their promotion campaign, in which he did a really good job, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was an offer on the table from one of those clubs who come down in order to help them get back up the division. But it's one of those where I think it's a really good move for Derby County if they can get it done, but it's one of those where you obviously can't sort of guarantee that any move will get done, because obviously the fee behind it is quite sizable in the case of Derby County. The only player we've bought for near that money is Sondre Langas, who was obviously a bit more than that, but we do supposedly have £6 million left from the Erin Cashin deal, which would obviously be used to put towards this and any potential sales or whatever we make this summer as well. But hopefully there's more investment to come as well. I know there's a lot of people discussing the investment down in my comment section over on Twitter and things like that as well. But ultimately at the moment we have no confirmation of anything sort of legitimate or anything like that, which is obviously what we're waiting for at this moment in time. And obviously there's a long way to go before we get anything sort of solidified in that regard. And obviously, as soon as I get any news or anything, we see anything regarding it, I'll obviously discuss it so that you guys know exactly what's going on. But when it comes to Travis, I think this is one we can get done without investment. I think a Dion Sanderson is something we can get done without investment. You look at Vyman and Bath, both deals we can get done without investment. And that's the important thing to note when it comes to these sort of transfers, is that there is masses of opportunities to bring Derby County players in. And that's something which we're going to have to do this summer. I think we probably need, 8 or 9 new signings this year. Maybe a couple more than that, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. I'm not entirely sure when it comes to our depth. I'm not entirely sure what the circumstances regarding that of registrations. But if we go through who we have registered, you've got Vickers and Zetterstrom, Clark, Rooney, Langas and Nelson. That puts you on 6. Wilson, Ward, Niambi, that's 8. Elder and Osborne is 11. Adams and Kenzo puts you on 13. Jackson and Blackett Taylor and Lars Jorgen Selverson puts you on 16, I think. So that would give us 9 places for transfers. You've obviously got Tomo and Fozzie, who you put in there. So you've probably got, if those two were to re-sign, you've probably got 7 or 8 spots to bring players in. Obviously there is potential for more moves to go out. You look at someone like Joe Ward could potentially move on. You look at someone like Jake Rooney and Dejon Brown, both could head out on loan. And there's no saying that other players might not leave, in the likes of Caden Jackson and Corey Blackett-Taylor, but obviously we'll have to wait and see for confirmation on that one. Now obviously if you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit the like button, turn on the notification bell as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm thinking of doing a giveaway in relation to sort of like all my channels and things like that, because obviously I've got the F1 channel, I've got the gaming channel now as well. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you go and check them out down in the description. Everything will be linked down there for you to go over and hit the subscribe button on all of those channels. But I will catch you in the next video of which I'm hoping we'll be getting some concrete news on transfers soon, because obviously it's been a long wait for that. But if you have not done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.